YouTubers or something are always like, oh, if only you had this, this, and that. I was just like, okay, so are you here for me or what I could potentially get out of this? Because I'm just
It's an interesting point, actually.
So with video editing, how is that even based on, like, do you do it for experience first, the quote unquote exposure, or is just like, no, I need my base pay first?
Editing is it's definitely both. It's a 1000% a job first and foremost. If anyone was like, yo, you'll get exposure, that's crazy. But depending on who you work for, I think you can get a lot out of it. Someone like Ryan and Jacob Alfarad were like really, well, Jacob was a really good mentor. I think Ryan was a good mentor at first, but taught me kind of the wrong skills. I think his view of YouTube was incorrect for the most part. They just kind of taught me like, you know, like, oh, make these really high effort edits. Like people really appreciate that. That's not the case, by the way. Editing doesn't matter as much as we say it does. But Jacob was someone that was like really taught me like a lot of interesting techniques, and that was like a really cool experience. Because also too, when you just start editing for other people, and if you're like pretty good at what you do, like people start like recognizing that. Like I think that was what was really cool about starting to edit, was I was able to make connections, which didn't really help like in a collaborative sense. Like it's not like, oh, this person shouted me out and now I'm getting subscribers. Like that doesn't really matter anymore. The big thing that like really helped was I was able to gain mentor figures. Like I met people through these people that like wanted to see me succeed and like taught me things, and I was like, oh, this is how this website works, because there is, you know, kind of a meta to this crap. So it's yeah, so I would say primarily it's definitely for money, but like if you are trying to go through that editor to creator pipeline, there are benefits into doing so, and you're able to make like really helpful connections that can really help you out.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Because I do like a lot of volunteer projects, like the one time I showed you the video game. So like those things are like free projects because we're all giving free labor away essentially, because we're not making zero money out of those games, right? So sometimes people come up to me and be like, oh, in order for you to succeed, you just need a very highly edited video. I was just like, okay, you want to give it a gamble? Go ahead. And then they give it a gamble, because I was just like, I'm not forcing you to do it or anything, but if you really want to walk the walk, and they're like, yeah, I just gave up, there's really nothing that I could do. I was just like, okay. Like it's just like a lot of people like feel like it's very easy to like make those highly skilled videos, or like those Alpharad videos as you mentioned, and then when they put it into motion, it's just like, I don't really know what to do or how to improve the video itself. So it's just like, yeah, it's just like you really have to figure out what works for you. It's like, yes, it's entertaining to see all that flashy images and whatnot, but it's just like, but how does this work for the creator you have in mind?
Yeah, and it's also what's really nice is working for someone that knows the trade. There's a difference between someone that's never edited before and working for someone that has, because when someone has, I think you take their credentials into account. Like if they give a note or like a critique on what you did, I think there's more of a level of respect of like, okay, like I understand why you're saying this, you know the trade. But also too, I think there's a better stream of like empathy, you know. It's like, okay, you understand. Like sometimes I've heard stories of bosses that have never edited before, and they request something like, should be easy, right? And it's like, you have no clue what you're talking about, this is crazy. But for someone that knows how to edit, they will be less likely to make such requests, because they know like, yeah, that would suck if I made you do that, because I've been through it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's a lot of things people don't think about, but it's a huge part of making some people's favorites videos, you know. I mean, everyone's got an editor at this point. It's kind of like a mandatory thing if you want to make it big.
I mean, you do your own editing, right? Because that's like what you like to do.
Yes, for the most part though. Like even I get some help. I have people do my shorts. I've recently gotten someone that does the initial cut. Because if you want to make I like to compare it to television and movies a lot, you know, like there's so many things that go into a production in terms of like lighting, editing, what's called cinematography, directing, all this mumbo jumbo clashing together. And it's, you figure out like, oh, it's so much better. Instead of like wearing myself so thin, I can get someone that's really good at this. I can get someone that's really good at this. Combine all of our talents together and make something that's like really good without killing yourself. You know, it can be smarter that way. And I plan on like trying to get on more help as I go on and trying to find out ways to allocate that better. But for the most part, yeah, I still do like the final edits. I still concoct the story within the timeline. That's mostly me at the moment.
Yeah, like I remember how all those YouTubers, how you could get like 100,000 followers with 0 experience, and then I would I would see, I was just like, wait a darn minute, all these people who are going up have either some professional background or have like a bunch of others. I'm just like, that's experience right there. So I was just like, wait a second, you are comparing apples to oranges at this point. It's just like, that's not gonna be a realistic for someone who has like 0 backing or anything, or like is really trying to do it by themselves. Because I know like my viewers or something are always like, oh, if only you had this and that. I was just like, okay, so are you here for me or what I could potentially get out of this? Because I'm just like...
It's an interesting point, actually. Yeah, it's hard. It's daunting. It's very daunting in that regard. You know, because there's so many other advantages that people have, especially with like years of experience. But that's because that's why I think like you really have to want it if you want to like do this full time. Like you really got to be like, well, this is my purpose. Like I want to entertain people. I want to make things. Like I'm willing to put in like those years of nothing to finally get something, you know, because it is true. Like it's just if you start off by yourself, it's like, well, look at this creator that's got 2 million subscribers and like 50 editors and like a thumbnail person. You have way less resources, but it's up to the individual, I guess, to figure that out.
Yeah, it really is, because I originally started as a PokeTuber myself. And yeah, it did go somewhere, but I really hated I really hated where it was going. I was just like, I don't want to just be a PokeTuber. I was just like, I can't stand just doing Pokemon the whole time. I was like, I need variety. And then it kind of put my platform back to 0 essentially. So it's just like, dang, numbers don't mean a thing. Like someone could have a 10K subscribers, 100K subscribers, but like then you could go back to having back to 0 if like you change your content. So it's like you still have to build your back up to 0. So it's just like you really have to be confident with what you do, but even then it's just like, are people gonna watch? So it's like yeah.
That's a really good point, and that numbers don't mean a thing. Because yeah, if you reinvent yourself, it is actually going back down to 0. Especially with Pokemon. Pokemon YouTube is a trap. That's the real truth. Don't do it unless you have like a really interesting and new way to change the scene. Like try to provide something to the conversation. If you're just like, oh, look, Nuzlocke looks so much fun, I'm going to do my own. It's like, yeah, have fun with that, bud. That's what I gotta say. I've been talking to so many people trying to get them off the Pokemon wave.